My name's Lloyd and I'm currently a third year forensic psychology student, but you may also see me around the SU because I work in the campus shop. I think there's a number of measures that could be put in place to improve the student experience, and I think the set of skills that I've got, I think with my manifesto and the support of the student union and the other VPs, that I could put this into place. And also everything in my manifesto is something that either I've experienced myself or close friends have. So I understand everything within my manifesto. For example, one thing I want to work on is landlord vetting, and this has stemmed from I had a bad experience with landlords in my second year, so I think the university should be doing more for students in that respect. I've held a number of roles over the past 3 years in different committees. So in my first year I was a welfare officer and treasurer for Nightline. In my second year I became the social sec for Harry Potter, and this year I'm currently the chair also. So obviously all of these roles were completely different, but they've all kind of helped me improve my management and leadership skills, as well as timekeeping, I'd say, as well. And I now have experience like leading a group of people, like the Harry Potter Society does meetings every Thursday and I lead them, as well as managing a group of people on different committees, and I now have the leadership role. And I also have experience because over the last 2 years the Harry Potter Society runs a Yule Ball and I took a lead in running that, so I have experience in organising and managing an event before and on the night. So I think I'd be a good help to the SU in terms of any events they put on next year, and also if sports and societies wanted to put on events, I could also be a good point of call if they needed help, because I have experience and I kind of know what it's like, and I know how stressful it can be to like get everything together. So I feel like I would be really happy to help anyone who wanted to set up an event. As I mentioned before, I feel really passionate about landlords. I went and spoke to the university over the past week and I asked them about how they vet landlords, and I was basically told they find their landlords through StudentPad, and to be on StudentPad you have to have a valid HMO licence, but apart from that, that's it really. And when I asked the university what they did in terms of vetting, I was told that that was pretty much it and it was left up to students. And I disagree with that. I think for a lot of people it's the first time, even if you've lived in halls, it's the first time finding your own place, having to deal with landlords, and I do think students deserve more help than they get. As I mentioned before, I had a bad experience first year for a landlord that I found through the housing fair, so I do think there should be a system in place for landlords to be vetted, and this should be continuously monitored to try and stop students getting into situations where they're in either bad accommodation or they're being overcharged for their places. If I was to become president, one thing I would like to do more of is to integrate the placement students. I have quite a few friends who are placement students, so I kind of have experienced the problems that they undertake, and I know that a lot of them feel that they aren't included as much as regular students, which I can understand. So what I'd like to do if I became president is try and work events around their timetables, because it'd be fairly easy to get all of their timetables together and try and plan events when they're not on placements, and then when they are, we could have day or early evening events so that they could come, because they may have an early morning, let's say, and it's not plausible for them to stay out until midnight in the hangar, maybe. But if we did another quiz, maybe early afternoon, they could come, and also mature students may be able to join in as well, because if they have to go and collect children, if we did something in the afternoon, maybe they could come to those events as well. I just love to be the president really, and if I was lucky enough to be elected, I would want to act as a point of call for anyone really. I would want it to be like an open door policy kind of thing. I would want everyone to know that they can just come and knock on my door and speak to me whenever they needed to about whatever it was really, even if they just needed a bit of a shoulder to cry on. I can be that if that's what someone needed. And I would want to work for the students' voice as well, so I'd be happy to listen to anyone that had their problems as well.